Face-to-face meetings. This video looks at the risk of participating in face-to-face meetings in relation to the spread of coronavirus. In order to reduce the risks, it is important to follow these guidelines. It is also important to understand government guidelines. Links to these can be found in the description below this video. Attending a face-to-face meeting. Virtual meetings must be the preferred option over face-to-face meetings. If a face-to-face meeting is required, you must follow all on-site guidance or restrictions for the site that you are visiting. Information about on-site guidance, restrictions and PPE requirements should be sourced prior to attending on-site and the meeting taking place. You should seek to identify and understand local trust guidelines prior to arranging a face-to-face meeting. The number of people attending the meeting and the size of the room should be established prior to the meeting taking place. 2 metre social distancing must be maintained with other meeting attendees. Meetings should be completed in the minimum amount of time possible or required. Participants should wash their hands or sanitize frequently where there is a facility to do so. Those working in field-based roles must keep a record of everyone they have had a meeting with for the next 21 days and where the meeting took place for track and trace purposes. This needs to include the name of the meeting attendee, the address and the date. This will be stored in the CRM for a maximum of 21 days. Using marketing materials in face-to-face meetings. Digital marketing should be utilised wherever possible over the use of handouts. Wash hands or apply alcohol-based sanitizer before handling the marketing material. Required quantities for handouts and samples should be established prior to the meeting taking place. Marketing materials and products should not be used for multiple meetings and should be allocated for a single use on a given day. They will be quarantined for an appropriate time after use, before being taken to the next meeting or event. Paper or cardboard should be quarantined for 24 hours. Plastics, glass, steel or fabrics should be quarantined for 72 hours. Where possible, handouts should not be taken away by a colleague after the meeting or the event. Used items should be kept separate from other items when stored in the car, especially if they are items for other meetings. Product samples should only be presented and not handed around the room. Sample products must not be used or demonstrated on another person. 2 metre social distancing must be maintained with other meeting attendees. You must not physically hand out marketing materials or samples. Instead, they should be left to be collected by the meeting attendee, i.e. picked up off a table or stand on arrival. Physical contact. L&R colleagues must not make physical contact with meeting attendees, including handshaking, hugs or kisses. Shared food. You must not take food or drink items to meetings for the purposes of being shared, and should only take items for personal consumption. Colleagues are advised against accepting shared foods and drinks when attending meetings.